You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. I don't believe we have any new callers today, but we've got Jersey Mike. Some of these calls are a little bit too early, but it's Victory Monday. After a big win, I'm feeling generous. Let's just do it.
Hey, Ryan, it's Jersey Mike. So I just wanted to give you a call before game time starts off here. Obviously, I'm like 12 hours early or whatever. Yeah. But I'm going to be at the game tonight. So, yeah, I'm not going to have time to call in. A few things I want to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
We were all right against Arizona. I'm not super excited about what happened, but at the same time, Jacoby Brissett's not a bad quarterback at times, and they have some guys in Arizona. They should be able to do a little bit of something, you'd think. The defense played pretty all right. Arizona's looking like a team right now that's on the upswing of the mid-ranking there. Honestly, Brissett's looked better than Murray has. So I'm okay with our win. I'm not happy, but I'm okay with it. But let me tell you this: if I'm going into Acrisure Stadium tonight, and I'm going to have to be heckled by a bunch of Steelers fans because I've heard about how bad Pittsburgh fans are. And let me tell you, I hate Western Pennsylvania as it is, so I can imagine how bad these Steelers fans are. So if I'm going to have to deal with that, I better walk out of there with a W. You know what I'm saying, Jordan Love? You know what I'm saying, Micah Parsons? All right, Quay Walker, Rashawn Gary, defense, you got to step up and make Aaron Rodgers regret ever stepping foot on that field against his boys. All right, we are not going to allow him to beat all 32 teams. That's just the end of it, okay? Okay. Let's have a good game tonight. Go Pack, go.
Your wish is their command, because that's pretty much what happens. It is funny how there's these stereotypes that I'm so completely disconnected from here in the Midwest region, Western Pennsylvania. I know so little about Pennsylvania in general, outside of obviously the fact that Pittsburgh and Philadelphia are there. I know Philadelphia has a terrible reputation, which is kind of weird because it's like they have a terrible reputation because they're basically like New Jersey, New York, like right in that region. So they're kind of more that. But at the same time, they're worse than those people. So how are you worse than the people who are known for having a reputation for being kind of scumbags? I shouldn't even say scumbag. They're just rude. But when you get to Philly, it's like scumbag. What is happening there? But then I never heard. I just know, you got the hard-working tough guys out in Pittsburgh who eat this nasty chili with onions on it for some reason. But I've never heard of a real negative reputation. Seemed like things were going well. Hopefully you were treated well. Looked like everybody was getting along pretty good. So I guess we'll find out.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
Yo.
Hey, bro. No, you're not bro. You're nephew. Hey, nephew.
Yo.
Anyways, listen, I'm running like a week behind here on the After Dark, but Dakota, that nerd, just called in, and
he's about to call back in.
He suggested about a new offensive coordinator. Yeah, I've always been of the mindset that you should have an offensive coordinator and let him do his job. I don't know what the point. It frustrates me when the head coach wants to do the offensive coordinator's job for him. Why do we have an offensive coordinator if you're not going to let him do anything? And
I'm sure he does a lot. There's a lot more to it than just calling plays, but he does the other stuff that we just can't see.
I think the head coach has a lot going on during the course of the game, and I might be wrong there, but that's my mindset he's got a lot going on, like, somebody tweaked their knee, what do we do now, type of thing, or what's happening here, what's happening there. All
You got other people that worry about that kind of stuff, honestly. You know what I mean? I mean, he gets like somebody runs up to, I mean, first of all, there's nothing he can do. You know, I mean, it would be weird if the head coach ran off with a guy that got injured to go sit with him and see, like, what's going on. He's got to tend to all this other stuff going on, and then somebody will walk up and whisper in his ear, he's done for the day, and he's, okay, whatever. Because at the end of the day, when you're calling your plays or whatever it is you're doing, I shouldn't say nothing's going to change, but it's not going to change very much. It's just next man up. So you just move on to the next thing, and whoever replaces them, which, again, is somebody else's responsibility, that's where your OC and your position coaches or whatever are say, hey, you're up. And the player should know, too. You're up. You know what I mean? When I call this, you're taking that spot, and you're supposed to know how all that works. He's not as much of a micromanager because there's a staff of 50,000 coaches and everything else standing on the sideline doing all this stuff.
Stuff going on, too. If you're just concentrating on calling plays, which you should be if you're the play caller, that should be your sole purpose, to concentrate on calling plays. You're not doing a good job with your other head coaching duties, and so I think you're kind of spreading yourself thin, I guess. Either you're going to be an excellent play caller, or you're going to be good at the other thing. You kind of get what I'm saying. Anyways,
I get it. I don't care that much. I mean, I don't know what. I'll be honest. I don't even know necessarily. Like, for example, the Detroit Lions head coach. What does he do all day? All I see him do is pace back and forth, chew gum, and like yell at referees. I mean, what is he doing? I feel like on game time, those types of coaches, like their job is during the week. You know, they're working on the game plans. They're working with all these different guys. They're doing all their different stuff. They set the direction. They set the culture and all that. What the heck are those guys doing on game day? I have no idea. It doesn't seem like he does anything but chew gum and clap. You know, clap for his team. Yeah, attaboy, that a baby, let's go. Hey, all right. But beyond that, even if what you're saying is true, I don't care because I don't want Matt LaFleur, who's a very good play caller, handing duties over to an offensive line coach that I don't believe is a very good play caller, just so that Matt LaFleur can chew gum, walk back and forth, and clap. That's not my preference.
Then my second question was, which is thicker, tooth skin or nut skin?
What?
I don't know. I mean, I looked it up on the Googler, and it didn't really say.
What is your question?
And then thirdly, Adam Schefter. Take that, Chris from Alabama. I'm with you, bro. Go Pack, go.
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on here.
What are the team? The Steelers. Yes, A-Rod and the Steelers going down. Oh, yeah, and that's one more thing. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers has a good game or not. Sure, it'd make it interesting if he was really lighting it up, and we had to over-lighten it up. No, you know what I'm saying. We had to overcome Aaron Rodgers. It'll be interesting if he just, throws 7 interceptions. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, then. Go, Pack, go. Rico out.
I'm still trying to process, what time? You called it 11:30, so I guess you're up and at 'em at that point and getting raring. Football's about to start. Adrenaline's pumping. I don't understand the question. I'm sitting here at 8 in the morning going, what, dude? Beyond sidetracked. How did you end that? Oh, yeah. No, I mean, look, I think Rodgers played well, all things considered. I don't think we allowed him to really look like Rodgers, though. I mean, it looked very different than that Bengals game, which I will say I'm beginning to appreciate more and more what Jeff Hafley's talking about in terms of just sort of giving up those plays underneath. Not that you're necessarily giving them up entirely, but kind of. Because when you see what Rodgers is capable of, and then you see the Steelers offense feeling good about itself, ready to just kind of air it out. And I mean, I know they've been doing this kind of all season, but I mean, he was making some serious plays. He made a couple in this game as well, but the fact that, I mean, you look at that 3rd and long and they threw a little check down, just basically conceding. I mean, that's not something you ever see Rodgers doing or agreeing to or anything. But nobody on that team, Rodgers included, wanted that smoke. I mean, that wasn't one of those, like, after that play, he was screaming and swearing, and he was screaming and swearing all the time. After that play, he's like, no, that was a good play call. That was the right call. Good job. Good job, everybody. Like that. Well done. He did not want anything to do with 3rd and long. And that is such an asset. Even, again, go back to taking away, even though we had, I think, Micah had a sack, Rashawn had 2. Rashawn's so funny because he is now the pass rusher everybody wants, even though he's not really getting as many pressures, probably because Micah's there immediately. But the pressures, and I think his numbers are fine, but just from the standpoint of watching it, I don't see him like getting to the quarterback nearly as much, but he's getting all the sacks. And that's all anybody ever wanted. Like, he's a ghost for the entire game and then sack. And then he's a ghost, sack. He's like a Micah Parsons vacuum. He's just cleaning up. But no, I'm happy, and regardless of what Micah's numbers are or anything else, which I know his grades are fantastic, which again is why the grades are the most important part. I mean, you could look at the sacks and say Rashawn's better than Micah if you want, but the reality is teams are terrified of our pass rush in general, including Rashawn and Wyatt and Van Ness whenever he's on the field. But Micah gives us that extra dimension that we just have not had, that puts teams in such a tough position. And the greatest thing is, if you can get the offense going, which it didn't look like in the first half we were going to, but if you can get it going, once you get a lead, man, I feel really good. I mean, we did give up that touchdown, which wasn't great. I felt like we were playing a little bit too soft and trusting the clock a little bit too much. I mean, when they're getting 8-yard completions in about 3 seconds, you do the math on that, and it's like, that ain't working, bro. But at the end of the day, it's just so hard for a team to come back when, really the only way you beat this defense is establish the run. I mean, the Steelers kind of had the perfect offense for it. I mean, it's a quick passing offense, very dominant, strong front, imposing run game, work the tight ends real well. I mean, this was the offense to take out the defense, and they weren't able to do it. And it wasn't because of Rodgers playing poorly, in my opinion. In fact, I thought he played really well. That deep shot on the run was a thing of beauty. Even that little dump-off pass as he's being sacked, I mean, that's galaxy brain stuff.
So this is before the game, obviously, but I've got a message that my 3-year-old wanted to send you. All right, Jimmy, tell him what's up.
The bear still sucks. The bear still sucks.
Go, Pack, go.
Dude, kids love that stuff. My middle daughter, who is not a Packer fan, like I told you, we went to the draft, and Bear Still Suck chants would like randomly erupt. There was one when we were in the stadium, and then there was one as we were leaving. But my daughter, like, her eyes got big and looked at me like, what? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a thing people do. They chant that. And she was so excited. She wanted to chant that the whole day. And then she heard it as we were leaving. She got excited, started chanting Bears Still Suck. It's punchy, it's good. All right, this is the last pre-game call, I think, before the game starts. So here we go.
Ryan, this is Dakota, that nerd, in Tennessee.
What's up, dude?
And I just got some great news.
All right.
Well, I had great news. I have to postpone my program for tonight. I'm so excited.
Yes.
You probably ain't going to listen to this because I'm calling it a stupid time a few hours before the game.
Being generous
but
today.
I know I called in and said that I have a program. And then I'm very sad that I don't get to watch the first half of the game. But it's raining, right? The big man himself said, brother man, you're watching this game. I'm so excited. Oh, my God. Getting into it, too. And then my clerk leaves at 7, and the game starts at 7:20, so I can yell all the crazy crap I want in the visitor center, and ain't nobody going to know. It's going to be great. All right, peace.
Well, it's good. It was a good game. And I'm giving a lot of people credit for this win. People that, like my son was gone, and then he shows up, we start playing better. My half-Mexican attorney was in Florida. His flight got delayed. Apparently, he crossed into, like, Wisconsin airspace as the game turned around. So we listen, we need everybody, all hands on deck. None of this, like, people are leaving nonsense, okay? Because that first half was scary. For those of us that were here, we were terrified, and we thought we were going to lose. And then you guys came back, and the Packers played better. So Let's never do that again, okay? All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to actual game calls. Here we go.
Tucker Craft cheese slices. Woo! Man, after Jordan missed, I think it was Golden on that third down pass in the first series. That drive right there, he looked pretty damn precise. That first, Dobbs was wide open, but the first pass that got the drive going, dude, he got that out quick, and that was a laser. Mine looks like they're pushing. Jacobs looks like he's cutting pretty clean. He looks fresh. Looks like we're moving him a little bit. So, kind of cool that after getting a 3 and out that we came back and scored, and the defense kind of held up there after giving up that 45 yardage just to hold them to a field goal. So, after kind of a crummy start, encouraging second things there. Daddy?
They did a good enough job hanging on, and, obviously I was in a testy mood watching it live, but if you read between the lines a little bit, I kind of pointed out it's not even so much that everything was terrible. Things were working. It was just simple little stuff. It's like you get yourself into a good third and manageable and then a drop. Like everything's working. You're doing everything right. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then stupid mistake. Like it just, just gotta, come on, just tighten it up, dude. We're good. We got this. Like, what? Why are you doing that? Stop freaking doing that.
Cheese slices. What a stud. Just catches a little flare out and just decides to bebop and scat his way for 39 or 40. You gotta like it.
I'm guessing that's the Tucker Craft, Crafts down there somewhere, Chuck up in the air. Not sure, though. Snacks part 3.
Man, I know it was easy to kind of bag on Hobbs last week, but I think it was justified and rightfully so, and maybe even, weeks prior. I'll tell you what, man, Valentine, couple of sticks, sure tackling. This is right after he broke the play up to Metcalf in the end zone. So sorry I didn't give you kind of point in time, but man, it's how many snaps did he get last week? Like 3. And then this week, Halfley and everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, we still believe in Hobbs," and blah blah blah. And then they ran out Valentine. Anyway, this is great. It seems to be making a difference. I guess time will tell, but man, he looks great. Great.
No, I'm surprised. Obviously, I had said that they're not going to do it. I'm surprised that they decided to essentially make the move and put Valentine in for Hobbs. It was the right thing. It's unfortunate that Keyshawn decided to take up the mantle and have probably the worst cornerback performance of the year, worse than anything Hobbs did all year. But that doesn't negate the fact that it's still the right decision. Hobbs was the weakest link. Keyshawn had played fairly well up to that point, so I don't want to do that thing where he has a bad day and we pretend he's been like that all year. That's not the case. Keyshawn he's been kind of Keyshawn, but also I think a better version of Keyshawn than what we've seen in recent weeks. And Hobbs has been the weakest link, and Valentine has looked good. He's always been good. He had a handful of mishaps. He gave up a touchdown and then followed that up by giving up the penalty on the 2-point conversion. Even though that's a little frustrating because I don't want to necessarily call it ticky-tack, but it's unfortunate because it was really good coverage and a really good play. And if he just didn't kind of panic early and start flailing his arms around and kind of just was patient and waited and whatnot, that would have been a beautiful play. But overall, he had first of all, super tough assignment, and I think he made some heroic plays. It's sometimes it's the little stuff that, one of the things I've always said is I generally, when I gauge whether somebody does something good or bad, it's in my mind, how did they do compared to what everybody else did? Whenever I see a guy run to an open zone, catch it, and then run because there's nobody around, like I'm not going to freak out that it was a 50-yard reception because there's not a single receiver or tight end or anybody in the NFL that wouldn't have done the same thing. There's nothing special about what just happened there. There were a lot of Valentine plays. You look at that and go, man, there are a lot of scenarios where that tackle doesn't get made, or that breakup doesn't get made, or that play doesn't get made, and that ends up being a really bad play for us. Especially when you look at, this was a unique, the size of Pittsburgh is crazy. DK Metcalf is a mountain. They got receivers that are like tight ends and tight ends like offensive linemen. And in fact, they had literal offensive linemen. Go ahead.
Someone is at the front door.
Literal offensive linemen catching passes out there. So for Valentine to frickin' man up and not shy away, like Keyshawn kind of did that thing where he's like, I'm going to stand here and then kind of grab you and let you drag me because I'm scared. Valentine was not scared, and he attacked. By the way, Bullard again. He's endearing himself to me, or I'm endearing myself to him, or however that phrase goes, more every day. And it's one of those, I don't really care about the grades. I love his play style. I love that he's fearless. I'm becoming a very big Bullard fan. Anywho, Jared the Uber driver.
Howdy, this is Jared, the Uber driver from Texas. I don't know what to say about this game so far. We had a good second drive. We've had a couple of drops. I don't think we're playing a terrible game.
Exactly.
Stupid penalty.
That was it's again. We're all kind of the same mind all the time. It's so funny. It was exactly my feeling. Like I feel like we're not playing bad. So why is this happening? Which, by the way, every time you feel that way, it always comes down to efficiency. It's red zone inefficiency, trading field goals for touchdowns or just not getting points, missed field goals. It's third down conversion rate, things like that, where it's like, I feel like we're good. Why are we bad? I don't understand.
Come on, Keyshawn Nixon, gotta turn your head around.
Yeah,
he's getting work right now. As far maybe he'll turn around in the second half. We'll see. Let's turn this around. I say it's more than possible to catch up 9 points. We stopped them on a couple of drives already. Or no, we stopped them for field goals. If we could just stop them for only field goals and stop their drives, that'd be nice. But just hopefully they figure out what to do in the second half. Go Pack, go!
Boy, oh boy, do they ever! Boy, oh boy, do they ever. Again, I was seeing on social media people talking like, let me guess, the offense comes out swinging and the defense falls apart. And I felt like that was going to happen, except the defense did not fall apart at all. And to be honest, it's a little unfair to expect that to happen. I guess the fourth quarter has been pretty not great for us statistically. But again, looking across what the NFL has been doing, or what they've been doing in the NFL this year, they've been pretty solid through 4 quarters.
What's going on, my firefighter? How y'all doing? I know how y'all doing right now. It's halftime. I normally don't like calling during the game because I don't want to sound stupid, mad, upset. But Lord, man, the kicker thing is getting on me. Like after the first kick, I'm like, hey, just don't keep missing them. And he's missing 2 of them. And I'm glad they didn't cut the other kicker, but it's not looking good. I feel like he came back because he knew the backup kicker was doing good. He's like, I don't want to lose my job. And so I don't feel like we should maybe cut him, but I do think maybe we should probably sit him till he's 100%. As soon as I heard him say, he came out with the first team coach, talked to him, he said he was fine, I knew it was BS because he saw the kicker doing great. And he was like, if we get too many of these games, they might let me go or whatever, So that's the only reason he's coming back. And he's actually doing the opposite by missing these kicks.
Right.
I'm not too mad about the first one. That was over 50 yards, even though the backup kick could be the record one.
Right.
I ain't tripping about that. But to miss the close one, it's like, and it was like wide, man, I was like, oh my God. So anyway, I know a lot of people are going to call about that. But if I hope he change it around, he win with the field goal because of him. Because right now, I'm looking like, hey, we might have to sit you for a little while, for a couple games, and let the back kickers just to make sure. Because I don't want it to be like the punt situation where you let a good punter go. And I know the other guy didn't have a good track record of being a great field goal kicker, but again, you kind of got to go. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I do think it's more of a selfish reason why he came back versus him actually doing what's best for the team. But anyway, go Pack Go. Hopefully we win this game. I'm screaming to Nixon. I don't want to call him out yet. Hopefully he get a pick six or something because I saw something last week about him and Hobbs having like over 100 yards, 100% like passing towards him, like giving up like a passer rating of all the quarterbacks throughout the season throwing at him total. So I didn't want to bring that up the last time I called, but that penalty was killer. It's like look back at the ball. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Go Pack Go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the McManus camp, although it gets harder every day. Again, I don't trust. Nobody's 100%. Nobody. That's not a thing. And I don't think it's super, I don't want to say uncommon, but impossible for a guy to show out for 2 games. I mean, whoop-de-frickin-do 2 games. And then you add in the fact that, I mean, the guy, it's not impossible that everybody just missed him and overlooked him, even though he's been on multiple rosters and has been cut, basically never even making it on the 53. Obviously, that's happening because he's just missing all the time and kind of sucks. And then when he did get his opportunity, very briefly, he was terrible. That's still the same guy. And, McManus is a proven entity. And I don't want to get too hung up on short term, giving away years of data because one game where he came back from injury and, like you said, probably wasn't feeling great. In fact, I just saw somebody had posted, I'm guessing they were in the stands, and said, I'm not going to lie, not going to lie, guys, McManus missed like 5 during warm-ups. So he wasn't even looking good during warm-ups. And it's a garbage field, and he's been gone, and he's still injured. Again, I'm not saying there's no world where I would say, fine, let's do it, but the risk is so unbelievably high, and we can't just go running after every shiny, flashy item that we see without really just thinking this stuff through a little bit. I mean, it's honestly a good example, the fact that McManus missed 2 kicks. If we just focus in on that, is that a good representation of what you think you're going to get from McManus based on what you've seen from McManus? No, that one game is a terrible representation of what you should expect to get from McManus.
What's going on, Ryan? Chris from Alabama.
What's up, dude?
I'm gonna try my best not to curse on here.
Okay.
I'm a tad bit pissed off.
I understand.
I'm more than a tad bit pissed off because we have left so much stuff on the table. It don't make no sense. And I'm a little bit emotionally invested in this game because I have seen this movie before with former quarterbacks coming back and we're playing them. I don't understand what's going on right now. I might be over-exaggerating to the highest extent. I can't say we playing like trash. We're not executing.
Right.
Can we please catch the football? Romeo Tucker, can we catch the football to extend the drives? Can we please do that? I know I'm over exaggerating, but I really want to win this game as I know everybody else does. And 15-7 just seems it's not that bad of a hole, but it just seems so much worse. I don't know, man, bro. We need to go into halftime. We need Matt LaFleur needs to get hyped up and amped up and curse some people out and just say that, guys, we need to execute and complete plays. It's not like we're not able to move the ball. We're moving it. We just can't complete the play. We're not catching the ball on third down. Stalling drives. Like, come on. What are we doing? Let's get it together and let's get this probably being overboard. I know I'm being overboard right now. I didn't want to even call in, but I just need to get it off my chest. I'm emotional right now. We can win this game if we come out and just play Green Bay Packer football. Defense is actually playing decent, other than some bonehead penalties. Keyshawn, I don't know what he was on. He got lost on one play. I'm going to calm down. They need to calm down. Let's just go out here and execute. We have to stop them out the gate. Let's just go execute, guys, and win this game. Go, Pack, go. I'll talk to y'all out forward.
Well, I'm glad you called in because obviously I'm guessing you listened to the episode of me doing the live, and I was very much in the same boat. Again, I mean, it's not even that everything was terrible. I mean, the offensive line was doing a decent enough job. Jordan, I thought, played really well, aside from my annoyance that he felt the need to force feed Romeo all day long. Kat, what are you hunting over there? There's nothing over there. There's birthday presents and nonsense. Get out of there. But yeah, it was the same frustration. Like, dude, the game's here. But, you know, again, it was like that's where I had to just mentally and emotionally resign myself to, you know what? If it's just going to be one of those days, then forget it, man. I'm not going to sit here and try to get all worked up if they just didn't get off the bus, because it was starting to look that way. It was looking like one of those games where, for whatever reason, we just weren't executing. The drops are back, and Keyshawn's having his worst day. Romeo's having his worst day. I can't say Tucker was having his worst day, but even Tucker, who you would never expect that from, has a critical drop. You know, and it just had that feeling, and it was frustrating, especially in this game. I mean, not even just the Rodgers dynamic, but just how important it is to stay out in front of the NFC, and how important it is for our division to stay out in front of our division, for our playoff aspirations to prove on prime time, you know, how that you're actually a very good football team. And, you know, it's like, I just, it's so frustrating when this stuff happens. Like, you know, an entire week of preparation and hard work, and you look like this. But, you know, you got to be really proud in the second half how they fought back, because again, we have seen this movie before, and, you know, like you said, I'm probably overreacting, and I was probably overreacting or whatever, but at the same time, you know, again, we have seen this before, and we've seen generally that what we saw in the second half is not usually how that goes. In fact, it was somewhat of a historic performance. I just saw Rob Domofsky posted the Packers trailed by 9 at halftime and won by 10. That's their largest margin of victory in a game they trailed by 9+ at halftime since 1982. So not only is that unusual just generally, you know, for the Packers when they're kind of getting a little frumpy, you know, kind of lazy, sloppy. That was a historic comeback. Not an historic, because we don't say that on this show. It was a historic comeback. But, okie doke, let's take our final break. We'll come back with Zach from Buffalo.
Hey, man. Zach from Buffalo here, okay? Listen, you probably get 700 calls. You probably won't get to this till Thursday of this week. My 3 takeaways in the first half that nobody asked for. I normally don't buy into it, but damn it, we need a corner or 3. And also, Carrington Valentine should be playing every snap.
Yep.
I don't care what we paid Nate Hobbs. Get him on the field. Keep him on the field. 2, Nick Money, McManus here is looking like Nick can't make a damn kick. McManus. Maybe the guy who broke the franchise record should have been in this week. And 3, can we please start putting old man Rodgers on his ass? Please. Please. Just get him. Get to him. I guess I'll give you a 4th one. Can we start running the damn ball, please? With Josh Jacobs? That'd be cool. It'd be cool. I'm trying to stay positive.
Do you want to run with Josh Jacobs, or do you want to run well with Josh Jacobs? Because I can give you one of those two.
The score's not completely out of reach, obviously, but they're getting the ball back. We're getting smacked in the middle 8 here. I'm getting real worried. We'll see where this game goes, man, but please, for the love of God, get me a damn corner and put the ball in Tucker Kraft's hands. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, I mean, your wish is mostly my command. Most of those things will happen. We got more halftime. I think we got one more halftime, and then we're back at it. And the great thing is, it's just a lot of snacks. Which, when it's snacks, good things are happening.
All right, Chris from Alabama again. I hope it wasn't back to back. If it is, I apologize.
No,
if you
you're
don't
good.
get played, I understand.
Zach saved you.
But the play calling, before anybody says anything about the play calling, it is not the play calling, people. The play calling is good. The execution is bad.
Yeah.
Execution. Please, guys, do not call and say anything about the play calling that has been going on.
Yeah, I mean, aside from, again, 3rd and 1 and we pass, that was my only time. And it doesn't even mean I'm right, but that was the only time I looked at it and I was like, all right, here's obviously what we need to do. And then we didn't and it didn't work. And I was like, okay, well, that felt like the wrong decision, certainly. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to blame the play calling when you hit a guy in the hands on 3rd down and he drops it. It seems to me that's the right play call. When you have the opportunity there, I don't know why that would be a bad play call. I actually saw somebody yesterday that was, for some reason, wrote like play calling with like 7 question marks, and the response was something to the effect of, yeah, dude, Matt LaFleur needs to start calling the play where they catch it. I agree. Like, what are you talking about?
Nothing is wrong with the play calling. Nothing is wrong with it. But if you call a play and Tucker Kraft and Romeo Dobbs drop balls that they should catch, it's not the play calling. It's the execution. That's all I wanted to ask. I love you guys. I am mad. I am an emotional guy about this game. This game is more than just another football game to me. I really want to win this game because the last time I saw this movie, it didn't end well. I want a happy ending this time.
Yeah.
When Favre came back and beat us twice, it was very, very bad.
Yeah.
I don't want this. I want to win this football game. That's all I want to do. But please, guys, don't get on here and calling and talking about the play calling and Matt LaFleur, because there ain't nothing wrong with the play calling. The play is there. You have to catch the football. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm very emotional. And I don't want to say nothing else and start cursing because I said I don't want to curse. So go, Pack, go. And I will talk to y'all later after the game, hopefully. Hopefully, after a Packers win. Go, Pack, go. Let's get our stuff together, please.
Well, it's also good that I did the during the game thing because, now that I'm in like Monday victory mode, it's easy for me to be like, okay, calm down. Like Zach was going through his list and I wanted to critique it. Like, well, technically, it's like, bro, you were this exact guy. So just let him vent, all right? All right, Snacks, come on.
Welcome to the NFL. Sweet Williams with cheese slices just doing, savage stuff. I was going to call after the half, but I'm sure other people have and just been like, what in God's name? McManus is our kicker. There's no other way to put it, but it is kind of weird. It's like, why? I guess if he's healthy, you just play him, right? I just think with a track, the Pittsburgh field is kind of crummy. Ask him to come out and kick a 58-yarder and then whatever. Anyway, that stung, but we got lucky, man. We got lucky on the offsides call. Good on Nixon for making a play to break up the pass anyway. Well, now we're back in the game. Back in the game. Woo-wee! Let's start calling him Sweet Williams. It's not Savion, just Sweet Williams.
Well, you just unlocked something in my mind that hadn't occurred to me. I always have been calling him Savion, despite the fact that I think it might be Savion if I if I remember correctly, based on that draft guide, I thought it said it was Savion, unless I'm thinking of something else. But it seems like everybody else just calls him Savion, so I'm like, that's fine. I would rather call him Savion. Everybody's calling him Savion. We'll call him Savion. However, if it is Savion, that's freaking awesome because it's Savion the Savage. You know what I'm saying? So there's that.
Dude, end of the third. The Reverend Christian Watson. Welcome back.
The nicknames are beautiful.
I gotta be honest on that throw. I can't tell if I think it was crazy or I think it was great. Either way, he definitely has a little more fun.
Well, you got to give him credit for that. We gave Rodgers so much credit for just perfect passes that skimmed, like shaved a little bit of skin off of defensive players' fingers. And when you do it enough times, you feel like, no, that's just Rodgers being a legend, as opposed to just being the luckiest human being on planet Earth. On that, I think, second shot to Christian, that was one of the best throws I think I've seen Rodgers or Jordan make ever. And that's kind of saying a lot because he's putting a little reputation. He's putting a nice little highlight reel together for himself. But it was one of those, you heard me even talk about it on the show, where that second time going through was like, actually, that was an unbelievable. And then I saw the replays, again on social media the next day, and it's like that honestly is shockingly impressive. Running to his right, throwing left across his body, the big no-no, by the way. Christian Watson covered from behind. The ball has enough air on it, which I think he's perfecting at this point, placing the ball, arm angle as well as how much touch or whatever to put on. That was a big issue. He was throwing rocket balls on all these deep passes early on, and it was kind of a problem where, like, dude, if you put air under it, people can go get it. This ball sailed just perfectly over one defender's hands into Christian's arms, ahead of the defender he's running to. And again, as he's running away, throwing back across his body, I mean, bro, that is a remarkable throw. And I think it might go a little under the radar how well Jordan played, because it's not just, because aside from some of those Watson shots, it was a lot of shorter passes. I know at one point, I think especially in the first half, like pretty much all the passes were under 2 seconds, short passes and whatnot. But even like I pointed out, that one, I think it was the touchdown pass to Tucker. I mean, there's another universe where TJ Watt takes that to the house for a touchdown. And Jordan just nonchalant sees that, changes his arm angle, throws it back and away and down, out of the reach of the defensive end who's screaming after this. Cool as can be, by the way. No panic, just, okay, boop, little sidearm, gets it to Tucker for a touchdown. I mean, that might have been a 14-point swing just because Jordan used the right arm angle, identified the threat, and neutralized it. And I think there's a lot of subtlety in Jordan's game right now that's potentially going unnoticed, and just how impressive some of the stuff he's doing is right now.
Hey, Ryan, Danner from California. Hey, man, just saw the little scrum after the punt return right there where Herbig tackled Melton and they had a little scuffle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all that was cool, but just after, you just see Carrington Valentine on the sideline. He just being himself, man. I freaking love Carrington Valentine. I'm glad he's starting right now. That's awesome. But let's keep it going. We have the ball. Hopefully this works out good. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it, but I was glad to see it. We'll see if that continues or not. I mean, who knows what the situation is there. It's possible it was a matchup thing, with the size of these guys. Maybe you look at it and say Hobbs isn't our best option against these massive monsters, and next week it'll be Hobbs all over again. I don't know. I don't think we can right now at least pretend that we know that it's just Hobbs got benched for Valentine outright, but it's possible. We'll see how it goes from here.
Yo! After the Packers TD, Micah's domination, I'm just watching this and looking at Kraft block and Fitzpatrick, and is Musgrave on the team anymore? I don't understand. Like, what happened to him? I don't know. Tom just went down. That is not what I want to see.
Yeah.
Rats. I hope that's nothing.
Yeah, the Tom thing is certainly problematic. I was very excited to see that it didn't seem to negatively impact our offense at all. That's not a shot on Tom in any way. It's just kudos to the offense in general. Jordan, obviously, Kennard, LaFleur, everybody that made a plan and made sure that didn't completely derail what we were doing. But yeah, as far as Musgrave, man, I mean, the one cool thing about the offense is they've just got all these different packages. You know, you look and it's like, oh, what do we got this time? We got Fitzpatrick and Savion, and like, oh, what is this? And everybody kind of has their specific utility, and I think that's the issue with Musgrave, is that he's not a Tucker. He's not it doesn't matter what we're running, we want him out there type of a guy. You know, when I see Fitzpatrick compared to Musgrave, I have a very different thought on what this play is. Not that it has to be, obviously. You want to be somewhat disguised in what you're doing, but when I see Fitzpatrick and another tight end, I'm thinking, okay, we got the big boys out there. When I see Musgrave, I'm thinking, all right, I'm expecting to see Golden and Watson, and we're going to really stretch this field out a little bit. All right, Snacks, why don't you take the final call here, and we'll leave it at that.
Oh, you know it's coming. Tucker, crab, cheese, slices. Woo-hoo-hoo! Holy Moses, what a game. What a game. Dude, Jordan's been accurate as all get out. I mean, a couple of heaves that have gotten lucky, but everything else, man, that's caught out quick. Lasers. Manuel Wilson, too. Big ups.
Yeah, that second half performance, I mean, it's just starting to settle in, especially as I look at some of the stats, just realizing how incredible that really was. And I don't want this to get lost in the shuffle as simply they didn't perform in the first half and they did in the second half. It's more than just performing in the second half. It was incredible, and Jordan played a major part in that. What was the stat I just saw a second ago? I'm not seeing it. We'll have to save that maybe for tomorrow's podcast. But it was something like he went 20 for 20 or something down the stretch. I mean, it was stupid. Jordan Love, by the way, in the second half is like number one in every category: passing touchdowns, total touchdowns, passing yards so far in the second half. So definitely got to work on the first half, but this is kind of normal for the Packers. They've been a second half team, which feels to me like I don't know if this is like a category of coach or something, but a team that maybe doesn't prepare well in terms of initial game plan, but adjusts very well. You know, when we have to try to guess what they're going to do and how we're going to attack them, we suck at that. But when we actually can see what they're doing, that's when you can see the wizardry of, you know, Halfley and especially Matt LaFleur, where it's like, oh, that's what they're... Okay, I know how to beat that, for sure. Maybe that's what we need an offensive coordinator for. A better person to scout the other team and, you know, determine how they're going to play and how we should attack that, because we are not getting that part right. All right, I'm out of here. I got to go do the regular old show. You all have a great rest of your night. I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
To 7. They thought we were dead. Pittsburgh Steel breaks under pressure instead. Love wirft den Ball 360 Yards. Sie fallen, sie brennen. We rip them apart. Wir brechen nicht, nein, wir fallen nicht, nein. Das grüne Blut, es kocht, es brennt. Grün und Gold, grün und Gold. Feuer in der Nacht, our story will be told. Grün und Gold, grün und Gold. 38 Punkte. runs cold. Pittsburgh's blood runs cold. Kraft fängt den Ball. 1, 3, 4, Fleisch und Stahl. Gary jagt Rodgers, the Hunter takes them all. Viertes Viertel kommt, 28 Punkte mehr. Steelers on the knees, beg ihm bitte nicht mehr. Wir brechen nicht, wir fallen nicht. Das grüne Blut schmeckt nach Sieg. Good on Gold, good on Gold. Feuer in der Nacht, our story will be told. Good on Gold, good on Gold. 35-25. Pittsburgh's blood runs cold. 16 down. Dann kommt die Flut. Dann kommt die Flut! Dann kommt die Flut! Dann kommt das Blut! Green Bay takes what's ours! Never grow old. Gold, Gold, Sieg, Krieg, Tod. Gold, Gold, Sieg, Krieg, Tod. 35, 25.